Hello everyone, this is Ankur Kumar, Simulation Specialist at Tata Technologies. In this particular session, I am going to show an interesting capability in CATIA V5 Composites Workbench, which is the laser projection. Um, this is a solution which is being offered to composites community for the shop floor guys to place the cut plies at the exact location on the floor. So this is primarily sort of a manufacturing assistance application. Earlier, this functionality was offered through one of our partners called Majestic. However, since Majestic got acquired by Autodesk, Dassault System decided to develop in-house application of its own. So a bit more about the offerings. This is being offered in both classic as well as express configuration. So if you go on tools options in the shareable products, this is the CLA license which is being activated for this particular demonstration that I'm doing. This is on the classic configuration. On the express configuration, it is called as the CPX. So CPX and CLA are the license names that you eventually need to procure and enroll to get all the functionalities for this application. Once you do this, you see these guys over here, which are the laser projector definitions, laser projector exports, and laser projector file reader. So I already have two projectors defined over here. Let's take a first one. So when you click on the existing one, you see a couple of calibration points, which sort of XYZ coordinate points used to define the range of a given laser. And then after definition of calibration points, you can pick the location of the laser itself, which is nothing but again a grid point, and it is further possible to shift the selected laser left or right, or can be rotated about X, Y, and Z axis to put it at the right orientation. When you move it, the positions or the directions will change accordingly. If you go into the properties tab, you see there are three lasers already defined. This comes by default, laser A, B, and C. Each one of these have its specific properties in terms of minimum to maximum distance it can cover, the horizontal to vertical ranges it can cover in terms of degrees, and as well as its length, width, and depth, which is the dimensions of this cuboid. If needed, these properties can be changed or more can be added in the list. However, for most of the applications it's not needed. The user just need to define the exact number of lasers as well as location of these lasers to cover the entire tool area. As long as these laser projections are in green color, it means that the range being defined can be covered by a given laser. If any one of these rays turns red, it means it's out of range, so the user either needs to change the location of the grid point where laser rests, or select a different laser property, or just define more number of lasers. Instead of 2, it may be 3 or 4, as many as needed. For this particular application, I have 2 lasers, and they accurately capture the entire area of the tool. So that's about the laser definition. Now, once we need to export the ply, we click on this guy, which is the laser projection export. And once we do this, the first thing we need to look over here is the format supported. So Vertex is the most common laser projection machines in industry for composites, and the Vertex format is supported. LPT, laser guide, as well as lap are supported as well. Next, we need to define the location where we need to store the projected file. We can pick how many existing lasers we want to use. It's recommended to select each that is available. And then here we need to select the ply which we need to export. So let's go to the ply stacking. And I have a whole lot of sequence over here. So let's select the last sequence over here, which is sequence number 80. Ply 108. As soon as I select on the respective ply in application, the projection is activated. However, I cannot export at this point of time because I have not done the computation. The computation So this is just the display. The compute button actually calculates the location of all of these laser grids in 3D space and make it available for export. The one other thing that export is going to do is track the exact location of this ply with respect to the thickness of the entire laminate, which means the number of plies beneath it. So this is sequence number 80. 79 sequences are beneath this ply, so we need to compensate for the thickness of those plies. Right now everything is being projected at the reference surface, which is not correct. When I click on compute, I can see that there is a shift of these projections from the reference plane. You can see over here. So the thickness of the laminate is now being taken into account. So this is the accurate projection. Once the compute is done, we are in a position to export this ply to the given location. There are other options which we can make use of, such as the project arrays or elements. We can change the size of normal vectors, we can change the color, we can also display the horizontal and vertical limits of each lasers if we want to. So once we click on the export button, we see a pop-up which is displayed in case we are trying to overwrite something. Click on yes, and you get a message that laser projection export is successful. You can go to the respective location where these plies are exported, and usually these are the text files which can be opened in any text editor, and they are, because we have chosen format as vertex, so the exported ply would be vertex compatible, which means it can be taken to any vertex machine on the shop floor and can be projected onto the shop floor as well. There are certain fine features which I'm not going to cover, such as it's possible to display the checking text which serve as a additional guidance for the user on the shop floor. It could be either the ply number or the sequence number, or it could be the material used within the ply, etc., etc. The user can type any text over here and make it displayable. So with respect to release, it is available in V56R 2016 and onwards. To make use of all the fine features being offered, it is recommended to install the Service Pack 3, and that's all it's needed to make use of this efficient application. Thank you very much.